It is dawn, and the forest awakes with a chorus of birdsong. Shafts of pale sunlight slice through tangled branches, drawing long fingers across the dew-streaked leaves. At the edge of a small village, a bicycle leans against a fence, its red paint glinting. Its rider is Asa, 16 years old, slim and bright-eyed, lacing his shoes with practiced anticipation, a map sticking out of his rucksack. Upon his shoulder perches Simsim, a green parrot, eyes alert, feathers shimmering as he preens, tilting his head expectantly. The world is quiet, save for the hum of Aser checking his bike tires and the soft ruffling of Simsim's wings. As he mounts, the parrot settles in on the handlebars, flapping excitedly. They share a ritual. Aser takes a breath of fresh air, and Simsim, as always, pipes.
جاهز لانطلاق جديد يا آسر؟
They exchange a look, half mischief, half wonder. The adventure today is unscripted, as all their best journeys are. They set off along the dirt path that winds into the heart of the ancient forest. But today, curiosity has competition. Muhammad, the village grocer, had spoken in awe of strange lights seen in the woods the previous night.
ربما كنوز مخفية أو مخلوقات عجيبة.
Asa couldn't resist. Questions pulsed in his mind. What caused the lights? Was it a trick, treasure, or something else entirely? Asir's legs pump, the wind teasing his hair. Simsim perches with the poise of a sailor braving a storm, occasionally muttering commentary on Asir's steering skills. The trees crowd tighter, the daylight slips away, turning the world green and gold. Every rustle in the underbrush, every flash of a squirrel's tail sends ripples of curiosity through their hearts. At the forest's center, the path narrows and the air turns crisp. Unexpectedly, the roots beneath Asir's wheels shift and his bike wobbles. Ahead, the dense ferns part, revealing a stone archway draped in moss, clearly ancient and half-swallowed by the earth. Symbols swirl across its surface in whirls and spirals. The arch shimmers with a strange translucent glow, the source of last night's mystery. Aser breaks, heart pounding in his ears. Even Simsim falls silent, his beak agape. They draw closer, and when Aser reaches out, the stone is cold, yet humming with energy. Suddenly the air shifts. Without a word, Aser steps through, his friend on his shoulder. For a moment, nothing. Then, the world explodes into color and movement. They exit into a land that seems stitched from dreams. Floating isles drift above impossibly blue lakes. Flowers as large as umbrellas blossom in the grass. And creatures, half familiar, half impossible, dart through the undergrowth. Far in the distance, mountains spiral skyward, their peaks hidden by swirling mists. Asa laughs, exhilarated, and pedals onward. His bicycle impossibly light, almost floating itself.
هذا أفضل من أي حبة فواكه استوائية ذقتها.
They zip down glowing trails, darting past trees that pulse gently with their own light. But an adventure is never only wonder. Along the edge of a crystalline pond, they encounter a strange creature. Small, furry, with enormous ears and violet eyes shining wet with panic. A glittering net is tangled around its hind legs. It squeaks and struggles helplessly. Aser immediately drops his bike and kneels. He whispers gently, extending a hand. The creature eyes him warily, then, hearing the softness in his voice, stills. أترى يا سمسم؟ نحن لسنا الغرباء الوحيدين هنا. It's tough, woven with metallic strands that twitch and pull back against his grip.
جرب قطع الخيط من هنا. هناك عقدة. أتراها؟
Working together, they loosen the knot, untangling each strand with care. When the last bit of net slips away, the animal shivers, then nuzzles Aser's palm gratefully. Just then, a laughter rings out, musical but tinged with trouble. From behind a bending tree, figures emerge. They are tall as Aser, with silvery skin and eyes like dawning moons. Their leader, carrying a staff wound with vines, smiles with bemusement.
غرباء في أرض الأبواب، لم تزرنا ريح جديدة كهذه منذ زمن طويل.
The strangers are the keepers of the passages, ancient guardians who maintain harmony between the realms. They explain that the stone archway is one of many magical gateways hidden in wild places, appearing only to those with unbridled curiosity and kind hearts. But the keepers are troubled. The net that ensnared the little creature is not native to their world. Something, or someone, from another gateway is disrupting the balance, trapping creatures, sowing fear. كيف يمكنني مساعدتكم? His offer is met with hopeful astonishment. Few visitors ever volunteer so quickly. Thus begins a chase across the realm, led by Aser atop his steadfast bicycle, wheels whisking over meadows and floating stones, and by Sumsum now acting as aerial scout, his voice echoing advice from above. They follow trails of silvery threads, signs of mischief and disorder. Along the way, they face perils that test their wit and bravery.
A rickety rope bridge over a waterfall of liquid light. احذر يا آسر، الجسر يهتز كثيراً.
A field of mushrooms that giggle and bounce when stepped on. And a shadowy glen where illusions swirl, showing each their deepest memories and wildest fears.
Here, Asa's resolve is steadied by Simsim's timorous jokes. Levity cutting through the fog of doubt. لا تقلق يا صديقي، هذه مجرد ألعاب نار.
Through their persistence, they finally catch sight of the saboteur, a cunning fox-like creature from a distant realm, clever and desperate, convinced it must capture rare animals for its own home or be cast out by its tribe. The fox flees across shifting sand dunes and a breakneck chase ensues, Aser pedaling, sand spraying.
إلى اليسار، إنهما يختفون خلف ذلك الصخور.
At last, they corner the exhausted fox before a canyon's edge. Instead of anger, Aser approaches with understanding. لماذا تفعل هذا؟
The fox's story flows out, a tale of hunger, exile, and desperation.
The keepers arrive as witnesses, ready to pass judgment, but Aser and Simsim intercede.
هناك دائما طريقة أخرى. يمكننا أن نجد لك مكانا هنا دون أن تؤذي أحدا.
After a tense moment, the keepers agree. They grant the fox a chance at redemption.
If, with Aser and Simsim's help, he repairs the harm he's caused. Together, the odd companions revisit every netted site, setting traps free, restoring habitats, and mending frightened hearts. The little creature they first rescued now bounds alongside as a joyful shadow, never far from Asa's side. As evening deepens, casting the fantasy world in bronze and indigo, the keepers gather the group at the gateway's edge.
كل من يحمل الشجاعة والعطف يستحق العبور، لكن الأهم هو العودة بحكمة جديدة.
With heavy hearts, tempered by pride, Aser and Simsim pedal through the portal, promising their new friends to visit again.
مغامرة جديدة غداً. آسر،